Okay, we got Mr. Tate ready. Who else is ready?
Ms. Sandoval?
All right, so we've got two cases on Mr. Tate and we've got Ms. Sandoval. Anybody else ready?
At this point, no, Your Honor, we're missing people. I've called them and texted them.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bexar County Court at Law number 6 in the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court. I'm Judge Wayne Christian. And we're taking up plea docket today for Thursday, May 26, 2022. Set on my docket are cause number 665095 to the Texas versus Grace Sandoval, represented by Ms. Claudine Espinosa. Ms. Espinosa, are you ready to proceed?
Good morning, Your Honor. Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have, let me do some right here. Cause number 655345 to the Texas versus Francisco Cantu with Angela Blake. Is Ms. Blake with us? Angela's not here yet.
Judge, he's running late.
Is Mr. Cantu with us?
Yes.
Yep, there he is. Thank you, Mr. Cantu. We'll wait for your lawyer. Cause number 669281 and 669283, State of Texas versus Tate Vaughn with William Salazar. Mr. Salazar, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
Thank you. Cause number 662081 to the Texas versus Onika Leonard with Linda Corley. And I think you said Ms. Corley's in another court running late, correct?
Yes, her client is here, though, Your Honor. She has signed in.
Thank you, Ms. Leonard. Cause number 645727 to the Texas versus Jacob Martinez with Tim Roundtree.
Mr. Martinez has signed in. Mr. Roundtree has not answered my text. I don't know what's going on. I've gotten no information yet.
Okay, cause number 627772 to the Texas versus Albert Dorado with Ricardo Ramos. Is Ricardo with us?
Your Honor, he has, Mr. Ramos checked in. He's trying to get a hold of his client. He doesn't know where he is.
Okay, and then you said Mr. Madrone's case was dismissed by a felony court, probably on a TIC?
Yes, Your Honor, it was recent, very recent.
Okay, so we don't need that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the three we're ready to go on are two for Mr. Tate and Ms. Sandoval. So in that regard.
Judge, while you're getting your papers together, may I give my spiel?
Yeah, please. Great. Thanks, Sue.
Good morning. I'm Officer Gross with Bexar County Adult Probation. For those of you that expect to be placed on probation today that are not VTC, you will be contacted by the probation department within 72 hours. If you have not received a phone call from them or a text message or an email, you need to call the phone number that I placed in the chat, which is 210-335-7446. Now, for any of you that currently reside outside of Bexar County or intend on moving outside of Bexar County, you need to advise the judge prior to your plea so that he knows how to sentence you. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. Once you do get your orientation appointment from the probation department, make sure you go to that orientation. It will most likely be via Zoom. Your failure to do that could result in a warrant being issued for your arrest. So it's very important that you take care of that step. All right. Good luck, everyone. Thank you, Judge.
And Ms. Corley with us now. Ms. Corley, you ready to proceed on Mr. Leonard?
Miss Leonard, yes, I am.
Ms. Leonard, thank you. Excuse me. Okay, let me do some readjusting here. Okay, first batting order is going to be cause 665095 to the Texas versus Grace Sandoval with Ms. Claudine Espinosa. Then we've got cause 662081 State of Texas versus Onika S. Leonard with Ms. Linda Corley. And we have cause 669281 and 669283 State of Texas versus Von Tate with Mr. William Salazar. And cause number 665095 with Ms. Sandoval. And both of Mr. Tate's cases are Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court, Track 1, pretrial diversion pleas and probation agreements. And cause number 662081 is a Track 2 Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court probation case and agreement. Ladies and gentlemen, the first document I'm looking at on your cases is entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference that purports to have both your signature and your attorney's signature on it. Ms. Sandoval, cause 665095, is this your signature on this document, ma'am? And your microphone's turned off, ma'am. There you go. Yes? You have to say yes for a minute. Thank you so much. All right, and Ms. Espinosa, the attorney for Ms. Sandoval, is this also your signature on this document?
That would be Hector's. He's the attorney of record, so it should say Hector
Okay,
Gonzalez
so
on there.
your trial partner, Hector Gonzalez signature. Fair enough.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
And Ms. Corley in clause 662081. Let me, Ms. Leonard, is this your signature on this document?
Correct, Judge.
Thank you. And Ms. Corley, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. And Mr. Tate, I got two documents for you, 669281 and 669283. Is this your signature on both these documents, sir?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And Mr. Salazar, as attorney for Mr. Tate on both documents, is this also your signature on each?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next document I have is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purports to have your signatures on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, Ms. Sandoval, is this your signature on this document also, ma'am? Ms. Sandoval, I can't hear you for some reason. I'm not sure what the situation is. Your microphone looks like it's off, but I can't hear you. We've got an audio problem. Claudine, is it possible you could get her on a cell phone and she could just use the speaker on the cell phone and we could continue?
She should be able to do that. Grace, can you call in? I think there's a number on the link Hector sent you. There should be a number.
Claudine, I'm going to take you and Ms. Sandoval out of the batting order for right now. And we'll come back to you when y'all get that figured out, okay?
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Judge,
Okay.
if I see she's in her car, it might be that her car is on and it's not connecting. Turn your car off and step out of the vehicle. Try that.
Oh, good catch, Miss Gross.
Yeah, if the car is on and sometimes it won't connect, so got to make sure the car is off and then reconnect.
Ms. Sandoval, can you?
Hello?
Yes.
There we go.
Glory be.
Wonderful. Thank you, Miss Gross. I learned something new today.
You're very welcome.
You are now our new IT person.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna backtrack just a little. Ms. Sandoval, the first document I had you identify your signature on is entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference. Is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And the next document I'm asking about whether it's your signature is called Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions. Is this your signature on this document also? Can you hear me, ma'am? Is this your signature on this document, which is a waiver of your constitutional rights? And we had audio so good. Now we can't hear you, Ms. Sandoval, for some reason. All right, back to square one. Ms. Espinosa, I'm taking y'all out of the batting order and put you back in when you get your audio figured out.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Leonard, is this your signature on this document entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonition?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. And Mr. Tate, in clause 669281, is this your signature on this document also, sir? Now I've lost Mr. Tate. Let's see where we are.
I'm back with yes, Your Honor.
All right, there you go, sir. And then also, is this your signature on the same document on clause 669283?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. By signing these documents, are each of you telling me that you've had enough time to either read these documents or have them read to you in their entirety? If you had any questions about what was on these documents, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorneys. So that in signing these documents, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on these documents. Is that correct, Ms. Leonard?
Correct.
Thanks. Is that correct, Mr. Salazar, on both cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. As attorney for Ms. Leonard, have you had enough time to go over this case with her, and in your opinion, is she mentally competent?
Yes, Your Honor, on both counts.
All right, same question for Mr. Salazar on both cases for Mr. Tate.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Leonard, are you a United States citizen, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
And same question for Mr. Tate on both cases.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Ms. Corley, as attorney for Ms. Leonard, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Judge, I've received everything on the attached index to the acknowledgement, and I know of no other discovery outstanding.
All right, thank you. Same question for Mr. Salazar with regard to discovery on both Mr. Tate's cases.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's see what we're doing with Ms. Leonard. Ms. Leonard's case, cause 662081, is a Bear County Veterans Treatment Court Track 2 plea and probation agreement. Get my information sheet. And this starts out life as what? A straight DWI or a DWI greater than 1.5 state?
Greater than 0.15, Your Honor.
And then are you making a motion on this case?
Yes, Your Honor, we move to waive the enhancement.
Okay, no objection.
No objections.
No objection from the defense, that will be granted. Let me do some writing here. Therefore, Ms. Leonard, in cause 662081 to the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense, how do you plead, ma'am?
Guilty.
And is there an agreement for Ms. Leonard?
Yes, Your Honor, 12 months deferred adjudication, $1,000 fine, court costs, 48 hours community service, fully probated, DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, Smart Start mobile for half the term, BTC treatment completion, and restitution, if any, to Edison High School.
That is our agreement, Your Honor.
What happened to Edison High School?
I don't remember, Your Honor.
Ms. Corley, what happened to Edison High School? Did we run into Edison High School?
I think perhaps a fence, Judge.
I'm sorry, what again?
Yes,
What
that's
happened to
correct.
high school?
Okay, hold on, Judge. I'll pull up my notes.
It was a fence, Your Honor.
It was a
Okay.
fence.
All right, now we're cooking. All right, Ms. Corley, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Judge, it is. Yes, Judge, it is.
Ms. Leonard, in cause 662081, court accepts your plea of guilty to the offense of driving while intoxicated, first offense. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold a finding of guilt. Place you on 1 year deferred adjudication probation, assess a $1,000 veterans treatment court fee, and $50 in court costs, 48 hours community service, probating all that based on your military service. DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, Smart Start mobile home interlock at 4 blows a day for half the term, which is 6 months. Outpatient drug with either the VA or another designated VTC provider. Restitution, if any, to Edison High School for offense. Successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court. Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. Leonard?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
Ms. Leonard, what'd you do in the military, ma'am?
Yes, sir. I was a petroleum supply specialist.
And did you go to the war?
Yes,
Iraq,
three.
Afghanistan, both? What'd you go
all
to?
3.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you for your service, ma'am. Welcome to the VTC.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. And
May I be excused, Your Honor?
sure, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Is that the same for me too?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you.
You
Does
bet.
she not need to talk to, I didn't hear the spiel about probation and
Ron
VTC.
is gonna call her, is my understanding. Ron, is that correct?
Yes, sir. I'll give them all a call. Each one of them.
I've
Okay,
already been contacted.
Well, you're gonna get contacted again if I were guessing. So that's all good. So
Okay.
thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Judge.
All right. This is cause 669281, State of Texas versus Von Tate. And to the charge of assault, bodily injury, family, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Is there an agreement for Mr. Tate? This is a Bear County Veterans Treatment Court Track 1 pretrial diversion plea and probation agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court, hang on just a second. Court accepts your plea of guilty, hold it in abeyance, places you on 1 year Bear County Veterans Treatment Court Track 1 pretrial diversion, assessing a $1,000 all-inclusive Veterans Treatment Court fee and 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service. And let's see what we're doing on the programs. We're doing the BIPP course, the APSE course. We're having no contact, harmful, or injurious with Alexandra Bartowiak, and successful completion of VTC treatment and completion of VTC, issue judge's bond Defendant to be supervised by CSCD and the VTC staff. State, does that pretty much hit all your bases on the requirements of his probation?
And the bib course, Your Honor.
Yeah, I got that first, BIP.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
Okay, and Mr. Tate, well, I've got you now. I'm looking at a second document, and there's also one for each case, both 669281 and 669283. And this document is called Track 1 Pretrial Intervention, which is a contract by and between you and your attorney and the Bexar County Criminal District Attorney's Office. Said contract setting out all the requirements and prerequisites of your successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court. In cause 669281, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And is this a signature on the same document in class 669283, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Salazar, the attorney for Mr. Tate, is this your signature on this document in 669281?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Salazar, a equal document on 669283, is that your signature on that one also?
Yes, Your Honor.
And let's see who our ADA is on this one. And Mr. Reed, can you identify Mr. V, are y'all signature as your trial partner and assistant criminal district attorney on both cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good to go on that. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Tate on 669281, which is going to run concurrent with 669283?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
Okay, in cause 669283 to the charge of interference with an emergency phone call. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Court accepts your plea of guilty. Hold it in abeyance. Place you on 1 year Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court Track 1 pretrial diversion, assessing a $1,000 all-inclusive Veterans Treatment Court fee, 48 hours community service, DWI educate. Excuse me, that's a DWI one. That's not what we're doing. Stand by. BIPP, APSE, no contact, harmful or injurious with. Oops, not on my sheet. Hang on, it's right here. Here it is. Alexandra Bartkowiak. And I believe that touched them all on that one. And Mr. Salazar, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And okay, state, what did I miss on both these cases?
I think that's it, Your Honor.
Susan, what did I miss? You're the expert.
I think you got it all covered, Judge.
All right, and both cases are going to run concurrent with each other. So as previously referenced, cause 669281 is running concurrent with 669283, and 669283 is running concurrent with 669281. So we only pay the $1,000 one time, not twice. We only go to the courses one time, not twice. All right, anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Tate?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Hey, Mr. Tate, what'd you do in the military, sir?
I started off as an infantry officer and I ended as an aviator.
Wow, that's a good transition. What year did you go to IOBC?
I went there in 75, summer of 75.
Wow, and then did you, right after IOBC, did you transition into aviation? How'd that work?
I spent a tour overseas of Germany, then came back and went to advanced course, infantry advanced course, and then attended flight school, graduated from flight school in April of 1980.
And what kind of aircraft did you fly?
I flew as primarily started out flying Hueys, flew some time in the 58s, and then ended up flying Cobras.
Well, we need a good gun pilot. Welcome to the VTC, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Tate?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
State, Your Honor.
All right, good luck, Mr. Tate. Thank you, Mr. Salazar. You all are dismissed. Mr. Tate, you're going to get a call from Mr. Mora probably this afternoon.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Roundtree is in, Your Honor.
Did we ever get audio back on Miss Sandoval? Did that ever work out?
She's muted.
Miss Sandoval, is your audio working now where there you go. Can you hear us, Miss Sandoval? No, still not working.
Judge, can we be sent to a breakout room, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
What we've done in the past, if you can get her cell phone working, And we can't hear it on our screen. We can, hear it through your microphone perhaps, but if you can get something working, that's great. Otherwise, we can do it some other time, whatever's best for you.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Have her disconnect all of her Bluetooth stuff on her phone. Try that.
Okay. Okay, but otherwise she could call me and I can put her on speaker and everything would be okay?
I'm gonna put you in a breakout room, then y'all can work it out.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we've got Mr. Roundtree and we've got Mr. Martinez. Is that true?
Yes,
That
Your
is,
Honor.
Judge, but we need to do some, well, actually, it's going to be an obstruction, Judge, so do we need separate paperwork for that? Or can we do it orally?
Pat, we need obstruction paperwork on a,
I don't send obstruction paperwork, the DAs do.
well, how about this? Can we do it? And obviously we'll be on the record what we're doing, and then we can do the paperwork after the fact. Is that something we can do?
That's up to you and the DAs, Your Honor.
I'm fine with that.
Any objections?
Judge, I can waive it down to an obstruction on the record as well.
All right, let's do that. All right, so we got Mr. Roundtree and Mr. Martinez. And we got Mr. Ramos. Do we have Mr. Dorado with us?
Not quite yet, Judge. I'm
All right.
working on.
We'll stand by until we find Mr. Dorado. Did we find Miss Blake and Mr. Cantu? I guess we already had Mr. Cantu, right?
Miss Blake has not come in yet, Your Honor.
We're waiting for her, so let's stand
Yes.
by. And Claudine's working on that one. Stand by.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey, Ms. Sanchez, can you send me the
Let's
quick
go.
terms?
I'm sorry, go ahead, Tim.
I'm sorry, Judge, I just need Ms. Sanchez to send me the terms real quick so I can make sure my client knows them.
Sure,
I
go
already
ahead.
did, Tim. I just sent you an email.
Okay, thanks. Sorry.
Tim, do you need to talk to the DA or somebody? We got plenty of time today. We're not in any hurry.
If I could talk to Mr. Martinez in a breakout room, that would be perfect.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, room 2. Okay. Mr. Martinez. There should be a button. You should hit that. It should say join and you can go into a breakout room. See if you can find that. He's frozen.
I'm finding a little humor in the fact that Mr. Ramos lost another defendant.
Come on, Judge.
They were there and then they were gone. We can come off of YouTube till we get everybody back in the program.
Yes, sir. Miss Sandoval has come back.
Miss Sandoval, turn off your microphone or turn on your microphone and let's see if we can hear you now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Her phone was automatically connecting to Bluetooth, so she's cut that off.
You can call that one. Well done.
Thank you, Ms. Gross. We appreciate your help.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, we're just gonna jump in on Miss Sandoval and see if we can finish that one. All right, back on the record on cause 665-095, State of Texas versus Grace Sandoval. This is a Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court, Track 1 pretrial diversion plea and probation agreement. Now, I previously had Ms. Sandoval identify her signature on the defendant's consent to plea by video conference, as well as the defendant's waiver of constitutional rights and court's admonitions. By signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney, so that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Espinosa, as attorney for Ms. Sandoval, have you had enough time to go over this case with her? And in your opinion, is she mentally competent?
Yes, and yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Sandoval, are you a United States citizen, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you. And Ms. Espinosa, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, Your Honor, they have.
Ms. Sandoval, to the charge of assault, bodily injury, married, how do you plead, ma'am?
Guilty.
Court accepts your plea of guilty. Hold it in abeyance. Places you on Bear County Veterans Treatment Court, Track 1, pretrial diversion probation. Assessing a $1,000 all-inclusive Veterans Treatment Court fee. 48 hours community service probated based on your military service. The BIPP course, the APSC course. Ordering you to have no contact harmful or injurious with Anthony Ray Sandoval and successfully complete all Veterans Treatment Court or Veterans Administration treatment. The next document I'm looking at is entitled Track 1 Pretrial Intervention, which is a contract by and between you and your attorney in the Bear County Criminal District Attorney's Office. Said contract setting out all the requirements and prerequisites of your successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court. In fact, ma'am, is this your signature on this document also?
Yes, sir.
You. And I've got Hector Gonzalez signature. Is this some imposter lawyer or is he a real lawyer?
I've actually seen him, so I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he is a real lawyer, Judge.
Mr. Reed, I've got Mr. Villarreal's signature. Is he a real ADA or is he some sort of fictitious ADA?
He's very real, Your Honor.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right. Then we got everybody on contract. We're good on that one. Let's see. State, what did I forget?
That's it. That's everything, Your Honor.
Defense, what did I forget?
Nothing that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Ms. Sandoval, what'd you do in the military, ma'am?
Yes, sir. I kept track of paperwork, aircrew training.
Were you in the Air Force?
Yes.
Did you go to the war?
Not in the war zone. I went to Qatar.
All right. Well, there you go. All right. Well, thanks for your service, ma'am. Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. Sandoval?
Nothing,
Judge.
Your Honor.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
You're going to get a call for Ron Moore probably this afternoon, and he'll explain everything that's going on and your first intake appointment to get set up on all this. Okay.
Ron, did you have something you needed to say?
Yeah, Judge, real quick on the plea paperwork. It had no contest on it. Did you want me? I can scratch it out and put guilty.
Let me back up. Wait. Ms. Espinosa, with the defense permission and the permission of the state, let's enter a plea of no contest instead of guilty for Ms. Sandoval to the offense of assault, bodily injury, Mary. Would that be okay with the defense?
Yes, yes, Your Honor, absolutely.
Okay with the state.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you for bringing that up, Ron. And we'll do that.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Mora.
Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. Sandoval?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
Ms. Sandoval and Ms. Espinosa, thank you, and y'all are excused.
Thank you very much. Y'all have a good day. Thanks for everybody's help. Appreciate it.
Did we get Tim back, or is he still chatting in the back room?
They're still in a breakout room, Your Honor.
And Mr. Ramos, did you find your client yet, or your search party still going on?
Search party still going on, Judge. I know he's an emergency room nurse, and he had warned me that things like this happen, but I'm tracking him down, Judge.
If we can't find him this morning, we can do this some other time. It's not life and death.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll keep you posted. Let me keep trying to get a hold of him.
It looks like Mr. Roundtree and his client are back.
Okay.
We're ready when you are, Judge.
Roundtree, you ready? This
We
is
are.
645-727, State of Texas versus Jacob J. Martinez. Mr. Martinez, the first document I'm looking at on your case is entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference that purports to have both your signature and your attorney's signature on it. In fact, Mr. Martinez, is this your signature on this document, sir? And it looks like your microphone is turned off, Mr. Martinez. You need to turn your microphone on. There you go.
Sorry about that. Yes, sir, it is.
Great, thanks. And Mr. Roundtree, as attorney for Mr. Martinez, is this also your signature on this document?
It is, Judge.
Thank you. The next document I have for you, Mr. Martinez, is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, sir, is this your signature on this document also?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. By signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney, so that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, sir?
That is correct.
Thank you. Mr. Roundtree, as attorney for Mr. Martinez, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Martinez, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Roundtree, does the state fully comply with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And State, have you got a motion on Mr. Martinez's case?
Yes, Judge, the state would move to alter and amend the information by adding an additional count of obstruction of a highway, waiving and abandoning count 1 and proceeding solely on count 2.
No objection.
Okay, let me use some writing here. State's motion to amend the information, adding paragraph 2, alleging obstruction of a highway. No objection from the defense is granted. Then state waiving paragraph 1, alleging DWI, and proceeding on count 2, alleging obstruction of a highway. No objection from the defense is granted. Therefore, Mr. Martinez, in cause 645-727 to the charge of obstruction of a highway. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Is there an agreement for Mr. Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is a $500 fine with court costs, 180 days in the Bexar County Jail, probated over 15 months of community supervision. The DWI education course, victim impact panel, a TAP evaluation, ignition interlock for half the term, CAT snip, and 45 hours of community service.
Okay, number one, we don't use TAP evaluations. We use the Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, primarily because sometimes it took us a year to get a TAP evaluation. Somebody would be finished with their probation and still have no outpatient drug court. So instead of a TAP evaluation, insert Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program. Is that okay with the state?
Yes, sir. That's fine.
Is that okay with the defense?
It is, Judge.
And secondarily, we don't use ignition interlock devices. We use a Smart Start Mobile ×4, which is a portable device about the size of a cell phone that a defendant has to blow into at least 4 times a day. So we can monitor any alcohol intake 24 hours a day. And not only when he's driving his one car that does have an ignition interlock, not the other 4 cars that don't have the ignition interlock. So is that okay with the state that we change that to Smart Start Mobile instead of ignition interlock?
Yes, Your Honor, understood.
And Mr. Roundtree, you knew this was coming. Is that okay with you?
We did know it was coming, Judge. Yes.
Okay.
Does it matter if it's okay, Judge?
No, not really, but I'm trying to be nice. You know.
I appreciate that.
All right, let me go through this one more time, make sure we get this down. Mr. Martinez, in cause 645-727, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the offense of obstruction of a highway. I find you guilty. I said 6 months in the Bexar County Jail, probated for 15 months. And I missed the fine amount, guys. Sorry.
500, Judge.
Okay, $500 plus court costs. 48 hours. Is it 45 hours community service? That sound right?
Yes, Your Honor, it's 45 hours.
45 hours community service, DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, Smart Start Mobile home interlock at 4 blows a day. And let's see if I missed anything after that. That's what I got. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Martinez?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
And y'all discussed deferred adjudication, and that didn't appear to be an option from the state's perspective. Is that correct, state?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, I tried for you, Mr. Roundtree. Didn't work.
I appreciate that, Judge. But in truth, the state's been very reasonable in this case, and I know that on behalf of Mr. Martinez, he would say thank you.
Good for the state. Y'all are dismissed. Thanks for your help.
Judge, quick question. Jacob, do you live out of county or have to travel out of county for work?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. All right.
All right. All good. Thanks.
Your Honor, I have contacted Ms. Blake. She is in front of the felony judge right now. She said as soon as she is finished with what she was doing, she'd come in.
All right. She's doing what right now? I'm sorry.
She is in front of the felony judge. I believe she had a plea. She's just finishing it up.
All good.